Welcome back to 46116 Melrose Place. It's been over 3 decades since TV's hottest drama first aired. Sadly, our list begins with a heartbreak. We just said goodbye to the legendary James Darren in late 2024. But you won't believe how the main cast looks today. Heather Locklear, Alyssa Milano. Have they found the fountain of youth? Let's find out. Thomas Calabro, born in 1959, played Dr. Michael Mancini, the man fans love to hate. At 33 years old, he evolved from a sweet and devoted husband into the ultimate manipulator of the apartment complex, destroying lives with a surgical precision. He holds the unique record of being the only cast member to stay from the very first pilot to the final finale, appearing in all 7 seasons. In 2026, at 67 years old, Thomas is still active in the industry, often directing and guest starring on TV. He remains the definitive face of the show, proving that playing the villain is often much more fun and memorable than playing the hero. Grant Show, born in 1962, played the brooding bad boy, Jake Hansen. At 30 years old, he was the cool carpenter on a motorcycle who bridged the gap between Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Place. With his leather jacket and rugged charm, he was the undisputed heartthrob of the early 90s. In 2026, at 64 years old, Grant has aged like fine wine and found massive success all over again, starring as the billionaire patriarch Blake Carrington in the Dynasty reboot. He is a rare example of a soap star who managed to stay at the very top of the television game for over 3 decades, maintaining his leading man status without fading away. Josie Bissett, born in 1970, played the sweet and naive fashion designer Jane Mancini. At just 22 years old, she was the youngest of the original group, representing the innocence that would quickly be destroyed by her cheating husband Michael. Her angelic face made the betrayal sting even more for the audience. In 2026, at 55 years old, Josie is radiant and has reinvented herself as a successful author of children's books. She also found a new home in romantic Hallmark movies, even reuniting on screen with her Melrose co-stars, proving that while Jane's life was dramatic, Josie's real life is filled with creativity and peace. Andrew Shue, born in 1967, played the earnest, aspiring writer Billy Campbell. At 25 years old, he was the ultimate nice guy next door, whose naive charm and taxi driving hustle balanced out the darker schemes of his neighbors. Unlike his struggling character, Andrew was incredibly ambitious in real life, playing professional soccer for the LA Galaxy while simultaneously filming the series. In 2026, at 59 years old, he is still alive but has largely stepped away from Hollywood acting. Instead of chasing scripts, he became a massive tech entrepreneur, co-founding the social networking giant Cafe Mom. He proves that the nice guy does not always finish last. Sometimes he just pivots to business and makes a fortune. Courtney Thorne-Smith, born in 1967, played the troubled advertising executive Allison Parker. At 25 years old, she became the emotional anchor of the series, tackling heavy storylines ranging from dangerous stalkers to a gripping battle with alcoholism that defined the show's middle seasons. Unlike many soap stars who fade away, Courtney successfully transitioned into a sitcom queen, starring in massive hits like Ally McBeal, According to Jim, and 2.5 Men. In 2026, at 58 years old, she remains a radiant and familiar face on television. She represents the ultimate success story of the Melrose alumni, proving that talent and resilience can build a steady career that lasts for over 3 decades in the spotlight. Doug Savant, born in 1964, played the gentle social worker Matt Fielding. At 28 years old, he took on a groundbreaking role as one of the first openly gay main characters on primetime television, serving as the moral compass of the chaotic apartment complex. Although censorship at the time unfairly limited his on-screen romantic storylines, his portrayal was a significant step forward for representation. In 2026, at 61 years old, Doug is still a prominent actor well known for his later success as Tom Scavo in the global hit Desperate Housewives. In a sweet twist of fate, he has been happily married to his Melrose Place co-star Laura Leighton for decades, proving that real-life romance is far more stable than TV drama. Amy Locane, born in 1971, played the Southern Belle waitress Sandy Harling in the very first season. She was only 21 years old and the youngest original cast member, but she left the series after just 13 episodes. Tragically, her life after the show took a dark turn that was far more dramatic than any scriptwriters could invent. In 2010, she was involved in a fatal drunk driving accident that resulted in the death of a woman, leading to a conviction for vehicular homicide. In 2026, at 54 years old, she has been released from prison and is trying to live a quiet life of redemption. Her story serves as a somber reminder of how quickly a promising Hollywood career can be destroyed by a single, terrible decision. Marcia Cross, born in 1962, played Dr. Kimberly Shaw, arguably the most unhinged character in the history of the show. At 30 years old, she started as a guest role, but quickly became legendary for moments like ripping off her wig to reveal a massive scar and blowing up the apartment complex. In 2026, at 63 years old, Marcia is a celebrated icon who found massive global success again as the perfectionist Brie Van de Kamp in Desperate Housewives. She is also a brave survivor of anal cancer, using her platform to destigmatize the disease. She proves that you can play a woman who loses her mind on screen while being a pillar of absolute strength and grace in real life. Daphne Zuniga, born in 1962, played the cool and tough photographer Joe Reynolds, who rode into the complex on a motorcycle to escape her past. At 30 years old, she replaced Sandy and brought a grittier edge to the show, often suffering through terrible relationships and a heartbreaking custody battle for her baby. Before Melrose, she was already famous as Princess Vespa in the cult comedy Spaceballs. In 2026, at 63 years old, Daphne is still radiant and active in the industry, appearing in shows like One Tree Hill and directing her own projects. She remains a fan favorite as the artist who tried to maintain her independence in a building filled with crazy neighbors, proving that being the cool girl never goes out of style. Heather Locklear, born in 1961, played the ruthless advertising executive Amanda Woodward. At 32 years old, she was brought in to save the sinking ratings, and she single-handedly turned the show into a global phenomenon. Her billing as a special guest star for the entire run became legendary, as did her miniskirts and icy boardroom glares. In 2026, at 64 years old, she remains a Hollywood survivor. Despite facing very public battles with substance abuse and mental health in recent years, she has fought hard to regain her stability. She stands as the undisputed queen of 90s television, proving that sometimes the villain is the only reason people tune in to watch. Laura Leighton, born in 1968, played the chaotic younger sister Sydney Andrews. At 25 years old, she was originally meant to appear in only a few episodes, but she was so brilliantly annoying that the writers kept her on as a main character. She stole husbands, blackmailed neighbors, and became the most lovable troublemaker on the show. In 2026, at 57 years old, Laura is still a major star, known to a younger generation as the mother in Pretty Little Liars. In a lovely twist of fate, she has been happily married to her Melrose co-star Doug Savant for decades, proving that the wildest girl on the show settled down to have the most stable real-life marriage. Jack Wagner, born in 1959, played Dr. Peter Burns, the chief of staff who was perhaps the only man capable of handling Amanda Woodward. At 35 years old, he joined the cast, bringing a sophisticated charm and a manipulative streak that rivaled even Dr. Mancini. He was already a soap opera legend from General Hospital and a one-hit wonder pop singer. In 2026, at 66 years old, Jack is still a heartthrob. He has become a staple of the Hallmark Channel, famously starring in When Calls the Heart. He remains the ultimate silver fox of television, proving that some doctors just get more handsome and charming with every passing year. Stephen Furst, born in 1954, appeared in the series as a public defender during the intense legal dramas that plagued the residents. At 40 years old, he was already a comedy icon known worldwide as Flounder from the classic movie Animal House. While his time at Melrose Place was brief, he brought a recognizable face and gravitas to the courtroom scenes. Sadly, Stephen passed away from complications related to diabetes on June 16, 2017, at the age of 63. Beyond acting, he became a successful director and advocate for diabetes awareness. He left a legacy of laughter and kindness, proving that even the funniest actors can handle serious drama when the script calls for it. Kristen Davis, born in 1965, played Brooke Armstrong, the wealthy and manipulative wife of Billy Campbell. At 30 years old, she played the villain so effectively that fans reportedly yelled at her on the street, leading to her character being killed off in a memorable pool accident. Of course, she went on to achieve global superstardom as the sweet Charlotte York in Sex and the City, completely reinventing her public image. In 2026, at 61 years old, Kristen is still captivating audiences in the revival and Just Like That. She stands as the ultimate example of an actor overcoming being typecast as a villain to become one of America's sweethearts. Morgan Stevens, born in 1951, played Nick Diamond, the lawyer involved in the intense Jack Parisi storyline. At 44 years old, he brought a classic handsome leading man quality to the show, having previously been a key star on the hit series Fame. His character was entangled in the dangerous past of Amanda Woodward, adding a layer of thriller suspense to the soap opera. Tragically, Morgan was found deceased in his home on January 26, 2022, at the age of 70 due to heart disease. He was a talented actor whose career was unfairly impacted by a brutal police brutality incident in the 90s. Yet he remained a dignified professional until the very end. Rob Estes, born in 1963, played the handsome restaurateur Kyle McBride. At 33 years old, he joined the main cast to inject new energy into the later seasons, effectively becoming the new male lead. Interestingly, he had actually played a completely different minor character named Sam Towler in Season 1 before returning as a star. He was already famous for the crime drama Silk Stockings. In 2026, at 62 years old, Rob is still incredibly dashing and active, famously playing the father in the After movie franchise. He remains one of the most reliable leading men in TV history, proving that sometimes you have to leave the show to come back as the hero. Lisa Rinna, born in 1963, played Taylor McBride, the scheming trophy wife who arrived to wreak havoc on the marriages in the complex. At 33 years old, she brought her signature lips and fiery attitude to the role, famously engaging in catfights that boosted ratings. She became a pop culture icon, albeit over again in the 2010s as the most controversial star of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. In 2026, at 62 years old, Lisa is still everywhere, launching beauty brands and dominating social media. She is the ultimate hustler of Hollywood, proving that whether she is playing a fictional character or herself, she knows exactly how to keep the cameras focused on her. Kelly Rutherford, born in 1968, played Megan Lewis, the hooker with a heart of gold, who eventually married Dr. Michael Mancini. At 28 years old, she brought a surprising elegance and vulnerability to a role that could have been trashy, turning Megan into one of the most sympathetic characters in the later seasons. She later became royalty to a new generation, playing the sophisticated matriarch Lily Vanderwoodson in the massive hit Gossip Girl. In 2026, at 57 years old, Kelly is a fashion icon on social media, known for her elevator selfies and timeless style. She proves that true class shines through whether you are playing a struggling woman in Melrose or a billionaire on the Upper East Side. William Schallert, born in 1922, appeared as Dr. Curtis, adding a layer of veteran gravitas to the chaotic hospital scenes. At 74 years old, he was already a television royalty, having played the father in The Patty Duke Show back in the 60s. He was a ubiquitous face in Hollywood, appearing in everything from Star Trek to True Blood, serving as the president of the Screen Actors Guild for years. William passed away on May 8, 2016, at the ripe old age of 93. His appearance in Melrose Place was just a small stop in a monumental career that spanned 7 decades, representing the golden age of actors who worked tirelessly until the very end. Stanley Camill, born in 1943, played Bruce Teller, the stressed-out CEO of D&D Advertising. At 50 years old, he was the corporate authority figure who eventually became a tragic victim of Amanda's ruthless ambition, leading to his suicide in the series. He brought a sense of grounded reality to the high-gloss drama of the advertising world. Tragically, Stanley passed away from a heart attack on April 8, 2008, at the age of 65. He is also widely adored for playing Tony Shalhoub's patient psychiatrist, Dr. Kroger, in the hit series Monk. He left behind a legacy of intelligence and warmth, proving that he was one of the most reliable character actors in the business. Alyssa Milano, born in 1972, played Jennifer Mancini, the rebellious younger sister of Michael, who arrived to shake up the complex. At 25 years old, she was already a veteran star from Who is the Boss, but this role allowed her to transition into more adult, sultry territory. She cemented her icon status shortly after leaving Melrose by starring as Phoebe Halliwell in the supernatural smash hit Charmed. In 2026, at 53 years old, Alyssa remains a powerful force in the industry, not just as an actress, but as a fierce political activist who helped ignite the Me Too movement. She proves that the child star curse does not apply when you have a voice as loud and brave as hers. James Darren, born in 1936, played the wealthy Tony Marlin, who got involved with Amanda Woodward. At 62 years old, he brought genuine old Hollywood glamour to the set, having been a massive teen idol in the 50s, singing hits like Goodbye Cruel World. He experienced a huge career resurgence in the 90s, not just on Melrose, but as the holographic crooner Vic Fontaine in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Sadly, James passed away from heart failure on September 2nd, 2024, at the age of 88. He was one of the last links to the golden era of crooners and cool, leading men, leaving behind a legacy of music and charm that spanned generations. Chad Everett, born in 1937, played Thomas Sterling, the powerful and manipulative father of Lexi Sterling. At 61 years old, he arrived with the aura of a television giant, having been one of the biggest stars of the 70s as Dr. Joe Gannon in the hit series Medical Center. His deep voice and blue eyes made him the perfect, formidable patriarch for the dramatic final seasons. Chad passed away from lung cancer on July 24, 2012, at the age of 75. He was a classic tough guy actor who represented a specific era of American masculinity, proving that he could still command the screen and intimidate the younger cast members simply by walking into the room. Watching these transformations reminds us how quickly time passes and how deeply these characters shaped a generation. If this journey moved you, please like the video, share your memories in the comments, and subscribe to explore more classic TV stories in our next videos.